Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. Welcome to the 23,000 subscriber special, and welcome back to the future. This video's a long time coming, and I expect to have made this months ago. Anyway, I make these videos so that we can celebrate viewers, people that have stuck with the channel or just joined the channel. They want to show off their collections, and it's awesome. There's a lot of great collections, updates to people who have already shown their collection, but they've done some new stuff, and great things to see. A lot of customs, a lot of art on shelves is what it basically amounts to. But I do want to apologize to those that put their submissions in a long time ago, because obviously I lost some subscribers because I made political comments, and the thing is, I stopped doing that a while back, not because I lost subscribers, but because of my own personal selfish reasons, because my YouTube feed is just full of that, and I want it to be full of toys, and I just want to have fun. When I do all this, just to be fun, and I understand, I get it, I'm like, hey, why is this, why do I gotta go down 3, 4, 5 lines to find a toy video nowadays? And so I'm trying to clean up that in my feed and my YouTube. But also, I understand why people don't want that in their toy videos. It's Chad made a really great video saying cut that out if you're doing it. And so, good points, cutting all that out. But anyway, this is back to celebrating all of these viewer submissions. I'm going to have a link down below in case you want to put yours in for the 24,000 subscriber special. I hope that comes way sooner than this did. But let's get a look at these great collections. Coming up. Alright, so first off, we are showing Alvin's collection here. So these are, I believe, 3D printed. He does say they transform, and they're huge. They're larger than the 40-inch, but he's got a 40-inch that he's going to show. So very impressive, very big. Take up some space, but man, that's awesome. And I didn't get the amount of time that takes. Here he is with a Unicron head. I'm not exactly sure if this was his that he actually produced and took somewhere, or just he knows other people that do the same thing. But that's awesome. As I just reviewed a Blockies, this is way bigger than Blockies. And then here he is saying that these are the 40-inch crew, the 40-inch team. That looks amazing. That looks fantastic. Very big. Now, I would like to get a Metroplex that looks a little more G1-esque like this eventually one day. It's going to take a lot of 3D printing, I guess, to get that done. And show more work on the Unicron. I haven't really seen an update to this project, but I don't actually check the Facebook very often. Usually only for this video. So, but yeah, this looks great. That looks fantastic. And as I don't think this will transform. Don't think it has to. There it is. It's almost done next to his daughter there, and that is going to be huge. Much bigger than the 40-inch team. And Alvin, thanks for sharing this. This is just an awesome way to enjoy the hobby. All right, we're getting into Angel and his custom Black Cat and custom Viper. So he makes a lot of custom figures. So he'll buy an extra one and repaint it and make custom. And the custom backgrounds are just phenomenal. Just amazing. Just really decked out. Look like real world environment. Love that moon back there. This is making it look like it's the Fans Toys box art, but he made, I guess that's Shattered Glass one I have is orange, so I'm not exactly sure what this one is, but custom Freak and Tornado. Freak and Tornado. This one here is Angel's custom Shattered Glass Slipstream and custom Pyro Strafe. It looks pretty cool. Pyro Strata? Pyro Strata. I'm reading tiny letters from far away. And then we get into this. So I want to show this first before we get into all of this. But this is amazing. And so I think we're going to show either all the shelves or about 60% of the shelves. But that is an amazing work on that with these Seekers. How do you display that many different color Seekers, and of which I think several are actually customs? Start with Starscream, and different versions of the character, and they both look great. Just interesting how he's done this up with one in the Coronation set, and then we got the Make Toys in there. Then we move on to Skywarp and Thundercracker. Of course, you got to have those guys. And the backgrounds in each one of these look phenomenal. We've got a volcano going in there, and all posed, looking really good. Then we get into Sandstorm and Ramjet, which are on the same shelf. They're both kind of base color of white, but then different accent colors for the wings. Got a camo on one, and more of a burgundy. And then we got the Fembot shelf here going on, looking good. So that's pretty cool stuff. And they're, what are they at, an airport? Is that a base? Something like that. Then we got Tangerine, Storm, and Paul. What's up, Paul? But yeah, looking good. Now, I'm not sure. Make Toys literally has made so many of these, I can't keep up with how many are just official Make Toys and how many are his own customs. So I'm just going to read what's up here. Astro Train and Blitzwing. Okay, none of those are customs, but still looks really good. And it's a great idea and a great way to display them. I like the background. I like just putting some real world elements in each one of these. Do you believe the nameplates light up? Am I right? Or are they just very reflective? Either they light up or they're real reflective. No, if they light up. That's amazing. That looks fantastic. Nacelle and Bitstream. We got Sunstorm and Hotlink. I wonder MPU is going to be putting their Hotlink out anytime soon, but those still look great. Definitely looking good. And there's Acid Storm and Iron Storm. So, I guess this could start being the what's coming from MPU soon kind of display. But these look great. All of these look fantastic. These figures look great. And I like the electricity he put on this. Just that's awesome. Then showcasing, we got the G2 Leader Class Studio Series kind of version of Swoop. Now, I never really knew what the colors of a G2 Swoop were, and now we do, and that's it. And then, of course, next to the Shattered Glass Grimlock. There he is next to, it's either Gigapower, I think it's Gigapower. And then some more of his customs. I didn't really take down what the names of all these customs were, or if they are customs. I believe they're a couple of customs, couple that are like Make Toys made them in there, but look pretty good. Angel, great video, great pictures, great displays. I really do appreciate all of the time and effort you put into this and submitting the pictures. Now I got one picture from Big'em Prime. I'm not sure if he intended to put more in and somehow they didn't upload, or I just didn't find them. So if there's more, I'll gladly put them in the next one. But I like seeing this. This is Eternia, and we've got all of these fun things. I think that Eternia is, look a little closer, it's probably the Origins one. And then the rest of it, is it all Origins? Maybe it's all Origins. I think it is all Origins now I look at it. Origins did such a good job that it really matches the vintage, but yet has that modern flair to it. So I'm still a little, yeah, it's all Origins. Still looks great. Fun looking stuff. Fun to spread that all out and have your little Eternia right there. All right, I got a picture from Brady here. This is his collection, and he's got it well lit and put in this glass case. Now the thing about this is, and the one thing I didn't really think about for glass when I was setting my stuff up, was with behind glass, very little dust gets in there, which is huge advantage for displaying your collection. Huge advantage. So it looks really good and nice and spaced out. Great way to display your collection. I like the combiners up top. Plenty of space for the combiners up top, and that works. They're all posed, all meaningfully posed and doing some stuff. Now opening some stuff up, getting a little closer look in here so you can kind of see how they're all posed out and laid out. And so you see there's full combiners up top and then teams down below in here, which does work very well. And then did the same thing with the Devastator, except we have both the combined Devastator and we've got some smaller bots in there. So that looks really good too. And then if I don't know if you noticed, but on the left in the middle there, that's Blaster upside down breakdancing. Literally breakdancing on the shelf. Brady, great display. Thanks so much for submitting your pictures. And we got Chris over here with Science Culture, which works very well. I mean, I believe those are Masterpiece. Is that? Or are we looking at Siege figures? Okay, some of the Hasbro stuff is so good, it's hard to discern if it's... But I believe those are the Masterpiece figures there. But anyway, looks good. Fits in the space, and this is his work area. And same thing, like I do when I'm doing my videos, I look over at my display that's lit up, and it gives me motivation. I go for motivation there. Here we go, the gun shelf, bring the guns, and that is the Lemon Tree Shockwave in the bot mode, and then of course you got the MP Shockwave in gun mode and Blitzwing in the back, and then of course we got a Megatron gun in there. I think that's the 05. Then here we go with a couple other characters and figures that he's got in his space. Looks like fun. Now this is some not all the way Transformers, some Transformers down there in the case, but I'm happy to see anything that you guys submit. This is not just only a Transformer video, even though I'm putting it on a Friday. I like to see other stuff, and so it's fun to see. We got some Classified in there, and we've got Marvel with a HasLab, Galactus. That looks pretty good overall. Then we've got more Transformers over here, looking good. And so inside the case, we got a G1. My eye just goes straight to the G1 Jetfire. Jetfire is my favorite. And of course, up top, we've got a Jetfire. Is that one, I believe, is the Takara. And then some Junkions, and it's fun. What's going on with Junkions is real fun because they're putting out a bunch of different Junkion variants, and you just have a Junkion planet going on somewhere. And then, of course, Ultra Magnus, they put back together. Here's more of the G.I. Joe classified stuff and kind of a mix of what I believe are some of the crossovers with G.I. Joe. And we know they're Transformers, but we also know they're G.I. Joe. And I think that the crossovers on G.I. Joe put the G.I. Joe vehicle as the number one. But this looks great, having all the characters in there, and kind of, they're sort of grouped, which is kind of fun too. The way, and then you can see Serpentor in the middle, and then a vintage Serpentor off to the left, which is awesome in its own right there. And moving up a little bit, you can see a little bit more of the Transformers transforming, and there's some Transformers Prime stuff in there. Good stuff. And look at all the Seekers, and I missed a Jetfire. I mean, my always goes to the Jetfire for some reason. It's just like, hey, there's Jetfire. Then we got some big bots up here, some of the Titan class, and mixed in with a Combiner Devastator, which looks great. And I will say that Scorponok that Hasbro did is fantastic. I mean, I just really think, I really don't see any problem with just straight up making that the 4-foot one. If some company upscaled that to 4-foot, that would be like when you're talking the 4-foot Masterpiece. It'd work. But yeah, all these other figures look great too. I mean, I don't want to skip all over all that, but they look good with the Astro Train, Blitzwing, Soundwave, and Megatron. Looking at some Beast Wars shelf here. And we got the repaint of the Armada, Unicron. Good stuff, fun stuff. And then here we go with more. So we've got Trypticon up in here, and then we've got Double Dealer and some other fun stuff. All works together. I like the Transformer side in there too. It looks great. Then we've got more characters in here. Is this looks like we got some Wreckers. Is this like a Wrecker shelf? Now again, I'm not well versed in the Wreckers department, but I know that's the Death Saurus from the HasLab, so it looks good. I love this. I absolutely love this picture here. And so we've got the Quintesson shelf. It's quintessentially great. Yeah, I love it. And here we go with more of this fun stuff. We have some Fans toys, Constructicons, which eventually will get combined. And this looks like a fun Soundwave shelf with different iterations and versions of Soundwave, and of course the X-Transbots in there with some Target Master action. Getting into what's looks like a kind of combination shelf, but it still works and it looks great. And I like the G1 Prime in there. And this is, the Ultimate Flex, which I think we got a picture of the whole shelf, the whole display coming in a little bit. But you just don't realize how big the W Resources Metroplex. I keep wanting to call them Mega Supreme or Fort Max. It's Metroplex. And those are Titan class, 2 foot, almost 2 foot. They're not quite 2 foot anymore, but almost 2 foot tall Titan classes right next to this. Here's another shelf showing combiners, which that's beautiful right there. Just got the Masterpiece Bruticus. Just made a video on that today too with the upgrade armor and stuff. And some Fans Toys figures right here. That looks great. That looks good. And that's Zeta's Unicron. And we've got Headmaster shelf here, looking good. Good, definitely got the Fans Toys going on, and that is that KFC? I believe that's a KFC one in there too, and some Titan Returns. Maybe a G1. No, Titan Returns. Then we got there's a car shelf. Let's just call this the car shelf, right? So we have the Motormaster and all of the Stunticons in there in their bot modes, or some of them in their bot modes there. And then we got some in the alt modes. And then we've got Runabout, Runamuck, Run a Muck. Yes, Runamuck in there. And we got some more Masterpiece. I think this is a mixture of Masterpiece and Mainline. Am I right? I might be right. But here's the thing. This is one thing I've talked about a bit, but not in depth. You can mix Masterpiece and the Hasbro line if you get the right characters next to the right characters and you use the right elevation. So this looks good. I mean, if even myself, where I can identify what's what, I have a little stop second and think. Some of those in the front row are the Hasbro ones. It looks good. It looks fine. It fits great if you do it right. Here is the full-on picture and of the collection. It looks good. So, thank you, Chris, for showing your collection. This is awesome. I love seeing this collection, and thanks again for submitting your pictures. Every shelf looks amazing. This is a different Chris, and for anonymity, I mean, you can go. It's still pretty public to go look at these on Titanium Hangar Toys Facebook page, but I still not all the way out there to the world. I just say Chris A. Now, he's obviously into Batman, and I also love seeing stuff that I don't see every single day, in my own collection. So this is an assortment of different Batmans. I couldn't tell you if they're all McFarlane or what company made them. I would assume a lot of this is McFarlane, but very impressive, interesting Batman collection, and very well displayed. Same thing as Thor. Now, what they call this is a focused collection. Focus of a bunch of different versions of Thor, which all look great. And here's the one thing. Collectors that collect all these Thors, just like me, I can put an Optimus Prime shelf together that looks like this. But out of all of these, Chris is going to say, like, this is my one favorite. I would like to know that too. Which one of these is, when I see a focus collection, which one of those is your favorite? That'd be awesome. And then we get into this, and so when I look at some of the stuff, like, I really haven't set up a Batman display like this before, but I believe that's either a custom Batcave or it's a multitude of sets that weren't made for a Batcave and assembled in here to look like a Batcave. Still looks amazing. However he did it, it looks fantastic. But getting up top, displaying 6 different Batmobiles up there, and I think it looks great the way it is. One of the things that I had an idea for, because I was going to display 3 different Batmobiles, but I decided not to, was to get turntables and on different levels and move them. I wonder if that's an option for anybody to do. That would be kind of fun. Just kind of like you saw in the Batcave in the 1989 movie. Whenever I think about Batman, my whole thought process is what happened in the 89 movie. Very little is from the Adam West, and almost none of it's past the 90 stuff. But this is done well. This is done well. Looks good. Now, more Batmans. This is really clean. Really neat how it's done. And also showing the little Batman symbols and signs, like what era or what it's from, or that's awesome too. I think that elevates those little labels in there that truly elevates the Batman display to another level, and I love that. Definitely. Thank you so much, Chris, for showing me your collection. Right, Gib is showing some really cool stuff from his collection. Now, he's not showing entire collection pics, which I would like for the next one, Gib to show me, like, here's the whole shelf, like everything in one shot again, because it's been updated so many times, and he's done so much with it. But we're seeing with this his Omnibot collection. Now this is really nice. I mean, first off, I love the Omnibots. Second off, he went in on 2 of each so he can have the alt mode, which is phenomenal. And then he's got them all stacked up in there. Is that one on the top? Is that the one that's the Knight Rider one? I never picked that Knight Rider one up, but it looks good in there. That's a Hasbro Knight Rider one, I think. Looks good. Okay, 2 of them. All right, so I'm trying to get both of these pictures at the same time, but this is... He likes to showcase stuff right when it comes in. Is this Drift? I think it's Drift. I think it looks good. Now we're getting into some sort of updated shelves, since obviously what we've gotten since then is the new Ram Horn, is the Fantoys version of Ironhide. And well, I'll just say this, Ram Horn and Ironhide upgraded this shelf big time. They definitely did. Especially the Ironhide. I mean, I bet you he was rocking before this the was it Takara? Did upgrade it big time. And then just showing a couple things. This looks to me like he's got future plans for this shelf. There's more that's going to happen here. And that's deliberate display. I like that. For me, it's figured out once I've reviewed it. Now I'm putting it away. That's my lifestyle. But having this deliberate action is so much better, in my opinion. I love this picture right here. Every character is kind of posed right, but it makes sense. So you can see the 3 main ones, which is Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge. And then the sweeps are different color off to the left. So that really makes sense. Or either that or it's the lighting. Now we're getting into Eternia here. There's so much to love about this. I just don't even know where to start. But A, it's the setup. B, it's this is not something you normally see. So you got the Origins Eternia. You have the Super 7 Snake Mountain on the right. And on the left, you've got the Mattel Classics Maddie Castle Grayskull. And you have them individually lit up inside of there. And you have lights projecting on the wall. And you have star pattern lights. And you've got Super 7's Tiamat in the mix. Impressive. Here it is from another angle. This is kind of stuff that's really amazing and makes me want to go put a few more hours worth of work into my displays. But I don't. But it gives me this little bit of encouragement to maybe try to do stuff like this. Fantastic work there. Here is another angle. Now this is something fun. I think we see the Feliner again. I believe this is the Feliner. It's a custom. Someone's making a custom that's pretty much, on all accounts, the same size, definitely the same scale, as the Super 7 Ultimates Thunder Tank. Behind it is the Castler that's phenomenal. And then, of course, other shelves of fun stuff. But the lighting in this is just top-notch. It looks amazing. And then here's what it looks like with the lights on, but still have all the lighting still going. But both ways, it actually looks awesome with the lights on too. So it's fantastic. Look there. And you can see we've got some Marvel on the left, and we've got some Turtles on the right, and then some more Transformers in there, and let's say Silverhawks and stuff. This is a great picture. We've got some I believe this is trans art, mostly, for the most part, or for some part. But Beast Wars, and we're getting into the trans metals, trans art, which I hope trans art still makes figures going forward. But they did some great stuff. I heard they got their feelings hurt. But as you can see, it's good looking stuff on the shelf here. And another great Beast Wars. I love that winged dragon. And I've already forgotten the name of that. It's been so long since I've reviewed it, but it looks, that really is the centerpiece. That really, your eye is drawn to that. It's so amazing. Fantastic. And here we go right here with more of these are the Maximals. The other ones were the Predacons. It looks great. And then Missing Link. So if you want to know what's been released for Missing, well, this is pretty much what's been released for Missing Link. Just the only other one, some other color variations that I don't think everyone really needs. So the core of it looks good. Another angle of the feliner and the cat slayer. This is amazing. Fantastic. I'm gonna have to stop looking at these pictures because I want to go buy, I believe it's like $300 to get a custom feliner. I believe it's actually worth it, but. And then another angle here. Getting into what has X-Transbots done so far with their Constructicons. And there they are. They look good. They look real good. I think they're waiting to combine. Now this picture, I got a soft spot for Superion. My favorite combiner out of all of them. Second favorite is Devastator. But to see a picture like this, I'm just blown away. Because you've got Superion. That's the Fans Toys. Then you've got... Yeah, I believe that's Fans Toys. Then you've got Fans Toys again as bot mode. And then you've got... I don't know which ones those are up top. But maybe that's Zeta up top. I don't know. As a jet mode. And that's just amazing. Such an amazing picture. I'm blown away. All right, Gib, you've outdone yourself this time. I'm curious to see what you have coming for the next go around. Thank you so much. Iacon. So this is a picture from Iacon. I'm not sure how many pictures we've got here. So this is the only one I can find, and it looks good. This looks good. We've got the Jabber in the front there, and we've got the X-Transbots. I believe that's X-Transbots version of Springer, and we've got mixed in with Drift and Jazz, and we've got a pretty stylized version of either Hot Rod Rodimus and a Prime in there. So fun stuff, Iacon. Thanks for sending a picture. I'd love to see more of what you've got. This looks like it's deliberately taken in a picture booth kind of area. Love to see your shelves and display. All right, here we go with Jay's collection. So we're going to start out with Masterpiece Transformers, and we've got some baddies up top, and we've got Megatron. You know, he's the same guy, and Shockwave, Starscream. We got Seekers in there, and we got a Soundwave. Going down lower, we've got the Triple Changers. Now, I like all the Triple Changers. I do like. I like how they look. They look fantastic in there. And then we've got a reflector set and a couple of other items miscellaneous mixed in with them that all look really nice. And of course, I like the kind of like stone pattern that we've got going on the shelves there. Then we're going to go up, down, down. Visionaries. You know, something different. Not everybody's got Visionaries going on. I don't think he deliberately was trying to squeeze the Visionaries in there, but Visionaries, nice. I like Visionaries. It's fun. And one of the things I like about Visionaries and some of these vintage toy lines is that there's 12 figures and that's it. And you got them, and you're done. Thanks for showing me your collection, your picture. I'd love to see if you've got more. I'm not sure if I just missed them, but thank you, Jay. Okay, so we got Sam Scott Roberts over here that does amazing work, and you'll see his kind of, he's going to be putting his Facebook in some of these pictures, so there it is. Want to say this, that I love the little sticker that goes over the chest for the Fans Toys, and I think that it'd also be a fun one for the X-Transbots. All right, and here we go with some, oddly enough, this is some Aldi stuff here. Just kind of showcasing. I think he's just wanting to send, hey, this came in. And we've got some other fun stuff. I think this is kind of like a just came in shot also. But we got the Fans Toys Blitzwing. We got some sort of a... I don't know much about Godzilla, but it's a Godzilla robot. And we get into some amazing looking shelf. Looking fantastic. Now, all this is put in together, but some of the stuff that I was thinking about when I saw this was, you've got Starscream in his coronation set hiding behind Megatron in his throne, who's thinking he's in charge, and Starscream's behind there thinking he's in charge. Just kind of how the whole story works, right? The picture is like how the story works, and that works. And then, of course, we got a lot of great characters in here, including, which that does appear to be Shockwave. It does appear to be the Plus version, if I'm right, back there. So that really does, to me, the color of that's just amazing. It's vibrant. And we got Jetfire, Skyfire, all that fun stuff, some Seekers in there. And here we go with some stuff. Now, he does fun pictures and fun art, and a lot of times, low-key flex. I don't get the low-key flex here, but it's stuff I don't know about. And I imagine it's some stuff that's pretty hard to get. It's pretty hard to get. And here we go with getting the new Megatron from Studio Series. And then, of course, you've got Unicron behind him. Great picture showcasing all of that. Now, these are the Hot Wheels. He's got the Hot Wheels in. That's pretty fun. And I think some of these pictures are like, hey, I'm going to show you I got this stuff in. And some of the pictures are, check out this display. Either way, it's still kind of fun. Now, this is a picture that I wanted to include because when you stop and think how big is the Fans Toys going to be with the Cerebros head, this shows you on the Lewin Resources one. But I also kind of think a lot of people wanted to see that. And I think I've showed that in the last video we had like this. But I wanted to showcase it again because it's been so long. It's been so long, but it looks good. It looks fantastic. And this also is a fun picture showing him holding the Marauder box. It's a big box. It's an even bigger bot. And Galactus looks small. Now, some of the stuff in this one, at least the big guy, I think he's either a 3D print or something. I'm not sure. But pretty cool looking figure. Towers over the Fans Toys or Fantastic Model Mars or Ultra Magnus, but great looking stuff. I do like how he does put like custom chess pieces, toy hacks, labels, and all that kind of stuff on there. And then we've got a Minosaur shelf / Stunticon shelf, and it looks like a whole lot of fun to me. What's going on right here, and of course having to buy doubles to make it all happen, and it worked, and it looks good. And then this is, I believe, like either an Aldi's Optimus Prime that he's holding or a Yellow Park Mini, but it still works. Now, Cups of Ladies Man, and if you don't know the reference, I'm not explaining it. And so when you get in some new figures, and like a new Legends figure of Sunstreaker, then you want to put it up against the GOAT, who is the Takara Mastery Sunstreaker. Still the best. Still the best that's out there. But this is actually pretty clean. And then a Voltron. Now, another one of the things, he does a lot of photography, but the backgrounds are amazing, and just feels like Voltron's just in a neighborhood, in a business district. I don't think Voltron was ever on Earth, but still, it's cool. It's still a cool looking picture. It looks like a whole lot of fun. And then we've got Superion in here. We've got a whole lot more going on. So this is a great looking Autobot shelf. I do like the Fans Toys symbol right in the middle there. That looks great. Now I think he did that like an overlay, a digital overlay. I don't think that's an actual sign he put in there, but it's still kind of fun to label it all Fans Toys. Not everything in there is Fans Toys though, but a lot of it is. And then there's his son. So that's the last thing I want to say is sharing this with the next generation, and it's a whole lot of fun. I'm sharing it with my son too. My youngest is interested in it. He's got a birthday coming up, and he's got a lot of Transformers coming. Hopefully he has a smile like that on his face. Thank you, Sam, for sharing your pictures. All right, so we've got a Chris in here, Chris and Chris B. Several Chris's submit their pictures. This was a video, so a little bit on the fuzzy on the pictures. I can't download the video or incorporate the video through here. And unless it's messaged, I might be able to. It's less than a minute downloaded, but best to send pictures. And I didn't want to pass this up. This collection is amazing. Every single shelf is set up as an amazing diorama, and it feels like you're walking out of the cartoon. It's just one of those things that it's just awesome. I wish I had better pictures to show it. Hopefully next time I get them some better pictures of it. Kind of trying to give you some overview of what we're seeing here. Is a giant Unicron head in there, and that is awesome. And you can see some shelves in the background. A few things going on with it. Definitely looks amazing. A lot of fun. Then here's a different angle, so you can kind of see what's going on with these shelves on the left here. So in the center is sort of a shelf unit that's two-sided, so you can walk around the room, and at the same time you can see everything that is on the inside shelves at the same time. So it looks really good. Open air. One of the things I've noticed is like the way the corners are set, that it's open, and it makes it for a more dynamic viewing experience. And then let's get into this next picture here. So this, and again, it's going to be fuzzy because I took it out of a moving screen grab as it was in the video, but backgrounds look great. I mean, these pictures are not going to do this collection justice because the video is awesome though. And such a great setup. I mean, when you look there, you see Teltran 1, and you see all the characters in Autobot Spike look like he's getting powered down. Fun stuff. A bunch of primes up there in a Focus Prime shelf this year. Now there's a lot more to this shelf. It's just really hard to get the whole thing in there, but it looks fantastic. And one of the reasons probably didn't want to take 50 pictures because there's so many shelves and every shelf's amazing. But I like looking like a real rock that's part of the mountain that they crashed into. That's just amazing. So much fun. And then right here we got some Decepticons just doing some bad stuff. Rolling a cart of what looks like Carrium from Bravestar. They're taking over. They're taking over New Texas, and then we've got some fun look at some Constructicons in there doing their thing, and again putting that real world type element in there. I mean, I'm sure it's not really rocks, but it looks like real rock. And it looks like they're walking. Everything feels like it's walking out of the cartoon in this collection. It is so amazing. Now this is one of the another wonderful picture from one of the shelves. Sort of looks like a space bridge going on here. I like it. Some Legends figures, I think, in there, filling it up, making it look good. Fantastic. Then we've got, now I don't see much of this, so I just kind of zoomed in on this one here, but got a Starscream that's been shot and is about to turn to ashes. I've never seen one of those before. Maybe I missed it. Maybe someone made it in the past, but it's got to be a custom. And then this looks wonderful right here. Again, it's the blurry picture because from a movement in a video, they're just kind of showing, scan around the room. And water at the bottom of this. It's a big, giant mountain. And all this quite elaborate. Like you got to think how much space is allocated for this to give you that look, and it looks amazing. That is fantastic. And some Legends figures on this. And then it's kind of blurry here, but what you can make out of this is how every shelf has something going on, a scene, and it looks fantastic with the backgrounds and just, it's not like only one shelf's decorated and the rest are just not. So this is fantastic. I would love to get better like high-res pics of this stuff, or a way to even just show the video. But I think the pictures are more fun, and I can just stop and talk about this one little segment longer than a video. But Looks fantastic right here. The elements that are involved in this to make it look like they're in an actual lush environment, and it's fantastic. And then this one here, looking like they're on a lava, the planet of Char. Is that the Char planet right there? It looks great. And we've got some movie characters in season 3. And then this is very. The thing that I like is you go from the planet of Char to this very clean, sterile environment of a display, which is exactly what you would expect here. It looks phenomenal, phenomenal. And then back to this kind of display where they're sort of in a jungle, and that looks great. Also, the contrast of all the green from the jungle background to the reds and orange, that's also a fun look. Anyway, thank you so much, Chris, for showing your collection. Thank you to everybody else that showed their collections. And I will have a link down below so you can submit your pictures. Pictures are really the best way, and not just for the fact that I can't really download the videos, but for the fact that I like to talk for a bit about a picture. And in editing, trying to pause that video and talk on the spot is going to be hard. So thanks everybody for sticking around for the 23,000 subscriber special. Hope the 24 comes much sooner. Teddy Hanger out.